$200,000, saved over 35 years, gone. Not stolen, not lost in a crash, just wrong place. His granddaughter found $34,000 where $200,000 used to be. Same money, same person. One different decision, and it would have been $3.1 million. $124 trillion is changing hands right now. Most people have no idea which side they are on. 15 million new millionaires in 14 years. Not from luck, not from inheritance, from one thing. Are you on the right side of this or the wrong one? Harold's money sat still for 39 years. The market around him rose 900%. His granddaughter found $34,000. 5 moves, 4 generation plans, 3 mistakes. No inheritance required. Let's go. Is your money growing right now or sitting still? Leave yes or no in the comments. That $200,000 invested instead of saved would be $3.1 million today. One decision, 1987. Rachel is starting, $300 a month, an index fund. In 25 years, $397,000. Her story is just beginning. The information is public. Most people won't act. The question is whether you will be the exception. My name is Lois. This is exactly the video Harold needed in 1987. 5 moves, hot sectors, 4 generation plans, 3 mistakes. Your question tonight. Let's go. Let's start with what this actually is. Baby boomers, Americans born between 1946 and 1964, currently control 52% of all wealth in the United States. That is $78 trillion concentrated in a single generation. The youngest boomers are 62 this year. The oldest are approaching 80. Over the next 25 years, all of that wealth moves to their children, to their grandchildren, and into every market you are already in. To understand the scale, $124 trillion exceeds the entire annual economic output of every country on Earth combined. It is more than 5 times the U.S. national debt. It is wealth accumulated over 8 decades of American economic expansion, about to cascade through the generations. This is not a financial event. This is a historical one. Now, here's the part that trips most people up. They hear $124 trillion and think, this is about inheritance. I will not receive life-changing money. This does not apply to me. That thinking is exactly what keeps most people on the wrong side. The opportunity is not the inheritance itself. It is what the movement of that money does to every market you are already in, or could be in starting today. Think of it this way. When $124 trillion moves, it does not sit still. It floods into real estate, markets, businesses, and savings accounts. Every dollar in motion lifts the assets around it. The people already positioned in those assets capture the rise. The people sitting in savings accounts, like Harold, watch it happen from the outside. In 2010, the U.S. had 8.4 million millionaire households. By 2024, nearly 24 million. 15 million new millionaire households in 14 years. Most were not entrepreneurs, not executives with stock options. They were teachers, nurses, and factory workers who simply stayed invested while everyone else panicked. That is the pattern, and it is about to repeat at a scale that dwarfs anything before it. And now, here is what the wealth transfer adds on top of that. $124 trillion flowing into markets over the next 25 years creates conditions for wealth creation unlike anything since the post-World War II boom. That boom created the first mass millionaire class in American history. This is that moment again, but bigger. But the transfer does not arrive in one moment. It does not announce itself. It seeps into markets gradually over 25 years, creating both opportunities and dislocations. Estates being settled force asset sales. Heirs liquidating inherited positions create temporary mispricings, and the people with cash ready at those exact moments capture returns that others never see. Now, before I show you the sectors, I need to tell you something that almost nobody in personal finance covers about this transfer, something that changes who controls the most money in America for the next 20 years, and it is not who you think. Stay with me. Before this wealth reaches the next generation, approximately $54 trillion flows to surviving spouses first. Nearly $40 trillion of those transfers go to widowed women. This is not a footnote. This is the first chapter of the transfer for tens of millions of households. And it means the demographic controlling the most new wealth in America over the next 20 years is not millennials. It is widowed women. What this means practically? If you are married, both spouses need to understand your financial picture, not just the one managing the money. The spouse who inherits first needs to be prepared to make decisions that affect the family for decades. This is not a morbid conversation. It is the most important financial conversation most couples never have, and the most expensive one to avoid. Now, where does the money flow? The younger generations inheriting this wealth have dramatically different investment preferences than their parents. 72% of investors between 21 and 43 believe traditional stocks and bonds alone can no longer deliver above-average returns. That shift will redirect trillions into specific sectors. Let me show you exactly which ones. Sector 1, Technology and Artificial Intelligence. This is where the most concentrated millennial and Gen Z capital is already heading. The sectors attracting the most younger investor attention are already outperforming. This is not speculation, it is capital following generational preference, and the wave has barely started. The move for technology? You do not need to pick individual stocks. You do not need to time the AI wave. A broad market index fund already includes this exposure. The flow benefits the whole sector, not just the leaders. Do not overcomplicate what is already working. Own the market, stay in it. That is the entire strategy. Sector 2. Real estate. The wealth transfer will reshape housing markets, but not equally. Markets where younger generations want to live will see intensified demand as newly wealthy millennials pursue homeownership. Markets losing population will see the opposite. The same $500,000 in the right location versus the wrong one will produce dramatically different outcomes over 25 years. The move for real estate? 1. If you own in a market attracting younger residents, do not rush to sell. Demand is coming. 2. If you are considering buying, research population trends before location. Money follows people. 3. If you have flexibility about where you live, pay attention to where younger generations are concentrating. That is where the next appreciation cycle begins. Sector 3. Retirement accounts. This is where Harold made his mistake, and it is the most fixable mistake in this entire video. $1 in a savings account at 1% against 3% inflation loses value every single year, silently, without drama. Over 39 years, Harold lost not $166,000, he lost $3.1 million because the right retirement account compounds instead of sitting. The numbers here are not subtle. Someone who invested $500 per month starting in 2009 accumulated over $250,000 by early 2026. That same $500 in a regular savings account accumulated approximately $102,000. Same discipline, same money, same 17 years. The only difference? Where it sat. That's Harold's lesson. Applied forward, it's Rachel's opportunity. Now, open your banking app right now while you're watching this. Find your savings interest rate. What is the number? Because if it's under 2%, you are doing exactly what Harold did, and the fix takes less than 10 minutes. I'll show you exactly what to do. Stay with me. The retirement account move. 3 actions this week. 1. If you have a 401k with an employer match and you are not capturing the full match, you are leaving free money behind. Fix that today. The 2026 401k limit is $23,500 with $7,500 catch-up for those 50 and older. 2. Open a high-yield savings account earning 4 to 5%. 3. If you are within 5 years of retirement, review your allocation now. Now let's talk about the generations, because the wealth transfer does not hit a 25-year-old and a 55-year-old the same way. The timing of when the money arrives and what life stage you are in when it does changes everything about how you should position yourself. Which generation are you? Leave it in the comments, because what you tell me shapes everything I'm about to say. Gen Z, ages 18 to 28. Most financial content will not tell you this. You are the biggest winner of the great wealth transfer. Not because you inherit the most, because you have the one thing Harold never used: time. A 22-year-old investing $200 a month at 10% annual return for 40 years reaches over $1 million without a single dollar of inheritance. Time is not an advantage. Time is the entire game. Gen Z, 3 moves. 1. Start now, even $50 a month. The amount matters less than the habit. 2. Build 1 month of emergency savings first. Without it, one unexpected bill forces you out of the market at the worst moment. 3. Avoid lifestyle inflation. The transfer is happening around you. Do not spend what you have not yet built. The people who win this transfer are the ones who resist the upgrade. Millennials, ages 29 to 44, you are receiving the largest single portion of the wealth transfer, approximately $46 trillion over 25 years. But here's the challenge nobody mentions. You are also carrying the most debt of any generation. Mortgage at peak rates, student loans, car payments. The transfer creates enormous opportunity, but only if the debt does not swallow it first. Millennials, 3 moves. 1. Pay high-interest variable rate debt first. A 20% interest debt eliminated is a guaranteed 20% return. Nothing in the transfer beats that math. 2. Do not pause retirement contributions to pay debt. Your employer match is free money you cannot recover. 3. When inheritance arrives, deploy it, do not spend it. The transfer rewards investors, not spenders. Gen X, pay very close attention to this next section, because Gen X is in the critical window of the entire 25-year transfer, and I'm going to tell you something about your situation that most financial content completely misses. Stay with me. Gen X, ages 45 to 60, you are what researchers call the pivot generation, close enough to retirement that losses hurt more, far enough that you still have compounding time if you act now. Gen X stands to inherit approximately $39 trillion over the next 25 years, but here's what most content misses. The critical window is not when the money arrives, it's what you build between now and then. Gen X, 3 moves. 1. Maximize contributions now. You are in peak earning years. The 401k catch-up for those 50 and older is an additional $7,500 this year. Use every dollar. 2. Build 6 months cash reserves, not 3. A job loss at your stage without that cushion is catastrophic. 3. Have the conversation with aging parents now. Understanding what is coming, even roughly, allows you to plan instead of react.
Baby boomers, ages 61 and above. I want to address you directly. You are not receiving the wealth transfer. You are the wealth transfer. And the decisions you make about how to structure, protect, and pass on what you have built will determine whether it reaches the next generation intact or arrives diminished by taxes, conflict, and poor planning. Boomers, 3 moves. 1. Have the family conversation now, not when it becomes necessary. Who receives what, when, under what conditions? Families that plan waste far less to taxes and conflict. 2. Review your estate documents. A will written in 2005 does not reflect your life in 2026. 3. Make sure your spouse is financially prepared. $40 trillion passes to widowed women, and most are not ready for the decisions that come with it. Now, the 5 moves. This is the section I built this entire video around, because understanding the transfer is one thing. Positioning yourself to benefit from it is completely different. These are the exact behaviors that separated the people who built wealth during the last major wealth creation event from everyone else. Stay with me for this. Move 1. Start or increase your consistent investment immediately, not next month, today. The transfer is already underway. The oldest baby boomers are 79 in 2026. Transfers are happening right now. Every month of compound growth you delay is permanently lost. The transfer has no bottom to time, no perfect entry point. Today is always the best entry point. Move 2. Maximize tax-advantaged accounts before anything else. Every dollar in a 401k, IRA, or HSA compounds without the annual drag of taxes.
Over 25 years, the duration of this transfer, that difference is not marginal, it is transformational. The people building the most wealth through this period are not smarter, they are simply using the tools that are available to everyone, that most people ignore. Move 3. Build cash reserves for opportunistic deployment. This is not about holding cash instead of investing. It is about having cash in addition to your investments, so that when the transfer creates dislocations and temporary mispricings, you can act. The people who captured the best returns during every major wealth event had one thing others didn't: dry powder when others couldn't act. Move 4. Extend your time horizon to match the transfer period. Most people think in quarters, some in years. The people who benefit most from the great wealth transfer think in decades. The transfer spans 25 years. A decision that looks bad in year 1 may look brilliant in year 10. Think longer. That single shift is worth more than any individual investment decision you will ever make. Move 5. Have the family conversation. This is the move most people avoid, and it is the most expensive one to skip. Families that plan together waste far less to taxes, legal fees, and conflict. You do not need exact numbers. You do not need to discuss death over dinner. You just need to start. The transfer happens whether your family is ready or not. The only thing it needs from you is a decision. Of these 5 moves, which one are you doing this week? Not this month, this week. Leave it in the comments. Writing a specific intention makes you significantly more likely to follow through. That is documented behavioral science, not motivation. Use it. Now, the numbers behind these moves. A 35-year-old who invests $500 a month for 25 years, the exact duration of the great wealth transfer, at 10% annual return, accumulates $665,000. Increase that to $1,000 a month as income grows, and the 25-year outcome is $1.33 million. Regular people reach millionaire status through consistency alone. The transfer simply adds tailwinds to an already proven path. Before the mistakes, I need to show you one number that reframes Harold's entire story. Not the $34,000, not the $3.1 million, something that makes the real cost of doing nothing more specific than either of those numbers. Stay with me, because this is where most people's understanding of wealth creation completely changes. Missing just the 10 best days in the market since 2009 reduced returns from 17% annually to 12% annually. Missing the 25 best days cut returns nearly in half. And here is the number that changes everything. The best days almost always happen during the most frightening moments. The moments when Harold would have sold. The moments when most people do sell. Staying in is the entire strategy. Now, the 3 mistakes. The ones that guarantee you end up on the wrong side of the transfer, regardless of how well you understand everything else. These are not abstract risks. These are the exact decisions millions of people are making right now and will regret for years. Mistake 1. Waiting for the perfect moment to start. The 2009 market bottom seems obvious now. Nobody knew it was the bottom then. The transfer has no bottom to time. Every month you wait is compound growth permanently lost. Waiting for certainty is the most certain way to miss the transfer entirely. Harold waited 39 years. The market moved without him. Mistake 2. Selling investments out of fear during volatile periods. The people who sold during 2020 locked in their losses and then faced a second problem. They didn't know when to get back in, so they missed the recovery. You can lose twice, selling low, then buying back high. Staying invested through the scariest moments is not courage, it is math. Mistake 3. Believing the transfer is not for you, that it requires more money, more knowledge, more connections than you have. That is Harold's real mistake, not the savings account, the belief that the opportunity was not for someone like him. It was. It required one decision, the same decision Rachel made, the same one you can make today. Now, something most financial videos completely skip over, the career opportunity inside the transfer. Because when $124 trillion moves, it does not just create investment opportunities, it creates an explosion of demand for specific skills and professions, and the people positioned in those industries will earn significantly more than those who aren't. Stay with me for this. When $124 trillion moves, entire industries grow to manage, protect, and deploy it. Financial planning, estate administration, tax advisory, wealth management. Real estate, the share of younger clients at wealth-focused financial firms grew from just 8% in 2021 to 25% by 2024. Advisors who understand younger clients are capturing business that will compound for decades. You do not need to become an advisor, but understanding how wealth moves creates opportunities in almost any industry. The career moves for the transfer period. 1. Develop skills that serve wealth movement, financial literacy, real estate knowledge, estate basics, tax understanding. Even basic knowledge creates opportunities others miss. 2. Look at your current industry through the lens of the transfer. Where does wealth touch your work? Get closer to those areas. 3. Build your own financial literacy first. You cannot guide others to something you don't understand yourself.
Now, the closing section. And I saved one specific number for here, because it is the number that ties everything together. Harold, Rachel, the transfer, the 5 moves, the mistakes, all of it comes down to this one number. And once you hear it, you will not forget it. Stay with me. The number is this. The real cost of Harold's decision is not the $166,000 difference between what he saved and what inflation eroded. The real cost is the $3.1 million Rachel never inherited. The real cost of financial inaction is never measured in what was lost. It is measured in what never existed. That is the number. That is Harold's legacy, and it is the number Rachel is determined to change. Rachel started with $300 a month, an index fund. At 10% annual return over 25 years, that becomes $397,000. Add the transfer tailwind. Add the family conversations she is now having. Add the career skills she is building. 25 years from now, Rachel's granddaughter will not find a passbook with $34,000. She will find something very different, because Rachel made one decision different than Harold. And to everyone watching who is still in the Harold position, the money sitting still, the plan not yet made, you are exactly one decision away from becoming Rachel. That decision does not require more income. It does not require more knowledge. It requires only one thing: choosing to start. The complete picture in one sentence. $124 trillion is moving from one generation to the next over 25 years, and the people who start investing consistently today maximize their tax-advantaged accounts, build cash reserves, think in decades, have the family conversation, and understand where capital flows, will be on the right side of it. That is the entire video. 4 questions to answer tonight before you sleep. 1. Is my money growing or sitting still? 2. Am I maximizing my tax-advantaged accounts? 3. Do I understand where the $124 trillion is flowing? 4. Have I started the family conversation? Your answers tell you exactly what to do first. No guessing, no complexity, just the next step. Harold worked 35 years. He saved $200,000. He did almost everything right, except the one thing that mattered most. He put his money somewhere it couldn't grow. You now know what he didn't know. The transfer is happening. The markets are moving. The opportunity is available. The only variable remaining is what you decide to do with this information. If this video gave you something real today, share it with one person, not your most financially sophisticated friend, the one who is working hard but not building wealth, the one who is Harold right now but could be Rachel. Send them this.
It takes seconds, and it could change their next 25 years. Subscribe and hit the bell. The wealth transfer is a 25-year event. As it develops, new data, new opportunities, shifting capital flows, I will cover every significant development. The people who stay consistently informed through the transfer period will make significantly better decisions than those who check in occasionally. The bell is how you stay in that group. The next video goes even deeper on exactly where the $124 trillion is flowing, sector by sector, and the positioning moves for each one. If today showed you the map, the next one shows you how to navigate it. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you there. Before I go, one last question. Describe your financial situation right now in one word. Not your income, not your net worth. Just how does it feel? Leave it below, because your word tells me and tells everyone here that you are not going through this alone. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Please consult a qualified financial professional before making any major financial decisions. Every situation is different, and what I have shared today is designed to inform, not advise. Stay informed, stay invested, and take care of your money, because your money takes care of the people you love. And your Tuesday is right now. I want to address something directly. Some of you are thinking right now, I will never inherit anything. My family has nothing. This video does not apply to me. And I want to be completely clear. You are exactly who this video is for. The transfer does not require you to be in line for an inheritance. It requires you to be invested when the tide rises. And the tide is rising right now. Harold saved $200,000 and left $34,000. But here's what almost nobody talks about: the emotional cost of Harold's story. Rachel did not just lose a financial inheritance, she lost the financial head start her grandfather could have given her. The $3.1 million is not just a number. It's the conversations Harold never had, the plan he never made, the decision he kept postponing. You have what Harold never had. You have the information. You have access to the tools, retirement accounts, index funds, high-yield savings that Harold's generation could barely access. And you have one more thing Harold never had. You have a plan. Right now, from this video. Use it. The wealth transfer is a marathon. 25 years. You do not need to run it perfectly. You do not need to capture every opportunity. You need to be in the race, consistently, patiently, with a plan. The people who benefit most from marathons are not the fastest. They are the ones who do not stop. I want to share something personal. I started making these videos because I believe financial information should reach everyone, not just the people who can afford expensive advisors or know the right people. Harold never had access to this information. You do. That's why I do this, and that's why this channel exists. 10 years from now, people will look back at March 2026 and say one of two things. Some will say, that was the month I heard about the transfer and kept scrolling. Others will say, that was the month I finally got serious and it changed everything. Which story do you want to tell? Rachel opened her investment account on a Tuesday. She didn't announce it, she didn't post about it, she just did it. 3 months later, she checked the balance. It had grown $74. Not life-changing, but it was growing, and that was the first time in her life that her money was working instead of sitting. That's how it starts. Not with drama, with $74. If you're watching this and thinking, I don't know where to start with one thing. Open a high-yield savings account today. That's it. That one action changes your relationship with money. It changes what you see when you look at your balance. Harold never opened one. Rachel did. That was the first step, and the first step is the only one that matters right now. The historical context. The United States has experienced a handful of events that transformed ordinary people into millionaires on a massive scale. Post-World War II, the 1982 to 2000 bull market, the 2009 to 2026 recovery. Each event minted millionaires who simply participated, no genius required, no insider access, just presence and patience. The great wealth transfer is the next one. The transfer is not waiting for you to be ready. It does not care whether you act or not. It is moving, right now. The oldest baby boomers are 79 in 2026. The transfers are happening in estates being settled today, in assets being liquidated today, in markets being repositioned today. The question is not whether the transfer is real, it's whether you are positioned. What I want you to leave with is not a list. It is not 5 steps. It's one question. Ask yourself tonight, is my money growing or sitting still? That one question, honestly answered, tells you exactly what to do next. Harold never asked it. Rachel did. And that's the entire difference. I want to be honest about one more thing. I don't know exactly how the transfer will unfold. Nobody does. What I know is that the people who prepare, even imperfectly, do better than the people who don't. Every time. That's not financial advice. That's 100 years of documented history. Act on what you know. Prepare for the range of outcomes. Knowledge is not wealth. Knowledge plus action is wealth. Harold had access to the same information. He chose not to act. Rachel had less information. She chose to act. And that choice, made in March 2026, will define the financial legacy she leaves for the next generation, just as Harold's choice defined the one he left for her. If this is your first time on this channel, welcome. Every week, I translate complicated financial topics into clear, practical steps that anyone can follow. No jargon, no assumptions, no gatekeeping. Just honest financial education for real people building real lives. Subscribe, and let's build the next 25 years together.
What did you learn today that you did not know before? Leave it in the comments. Not what you are going to do, what you learned, because your answer tells me what this channel needs to cover next, and it tells everyone here that this community is actively learning, not just watching. The transfer is a marathon, not a sprint. 25 years. You do not need to do everything today. You need to do one thing, the first thing. Check whether your money is growing or sitting still. That one action starts the chain. Every plan that ever worked started with someone doing the first thing. Not all the things, just the first one. Here is what I know about the people watching this video right now. You are not Harold. Harold never made it to the end of a video like this. The fact that you are still here, still watching, already separates you from most people. Harold would have scrolled. You stayed. That matters. So take one more step. Open your banking app right now. Find your savings account interest rate. Write the number in the comments. If it is under 2%, you now know exactly what to do. If it is over 4%, you are already on the right side. Either way, you will know your number. And knowing your number is where Rachel's story started. The wealth transfer does not need your permission. It does not need your awareness. It does not need your participation. It is happening regardless. The only thing it needs from you is a decision. Are you Harold or are you Rachel? That decision made today will echo for the next 25 years. You now have what Harold never had, the information, the plan, the moves, the sectors, the generation-specific steps, the mistakes to avoid, and one thing Harold definitely never had, a $74 green number on a phone screen that proved his money was finally working. Rachel has that. Now you know how to get it too. Harold saved $200,000 and left $34,000. Rachel is saving $300 a month and building $397,000. You are watching this video in March 2026 with 25 years of transfer ahead of you. Which number is yours going to be? That question, answered honestly, is the most important financial question you will answer today. The wealth transfer is not a future event. It is not something that will start in 5 years when conditions are better. It started before this video began. It will continue long after this video ends. The only relevant question is not when it happens, it is which side you're on when it does. What is the one thing you are going to do differently starting tomorrow? Not a list, one thing. Write it below. Because research on behavioral follow-through shows that people who write down a specific intention are significantly more likely to act on it. That is not motivation, that is documented science. Use it. Write one thing. Right now. To Rachel, wherever you are, you found $34,000 where $200,000 used to be. You could have put it back in a savings account and repeated Harold's story. You didn't. You started. And that single, quiet decision to do something different is why your story ends differently than his. And to everyone watching who is not Rachel yet, who is still Harold, 1 month from now, you can be Rachel. One decision, one account, 1 month of consistent action. Harold had 39 years and never started. You have right now. That is the only advantage that matters. Before I go, I started making these videos because I believe the financial system should not be a secret. The information that creates wealth should be available to everyone, not gatekept behind expensive advisors or complicated language. Harold deserved this information. He never got it. You have it now. Use it. 5 moves, 3 mistakes, 4 generation plans, 3 sectors, 1 story. Harold's $200,000 that became $34,000. Rachel's $300 a month is becoming $397,000. The $124 trillion transfer happening right now. And one question that ties it all together. Is your money growing or sitting still? Answer it tonight. The transfer is happening. Economic systems have survived 100 years of wars, crises, depressions, and shocks. They will survive whatever comes next. What you control is not whether the system recovers. It will. What you control is whether you are positioned to benefit from the recovery that always follows. That is the only decision that truly belongs to you. Stay informed, stay invested, and take care of your money, because your money takes care of the people you love. I will see you in the next one. And when you get there, you will already be 1 step further than Harold ever was. One last thing. The $124 trillion, the $3.1 million Harold never built, the $397,000 Rachel is building, the $74 that started it all. None of these numbers matter if you close this video and go back to exactly what you were doing before. The only number that matters now is the one you are going to create. Harold's story ended with a passbook, $34,000, 39 years of silence. Rachel's story is just beginning, $300 a month, $74 growing, 25 years ahead. Your story is in your hands right now, and this video just gave you everything you need to write it differently than Harold did. Fear is information. It is telling you something needs attention. The people who let fear become paralysis lose. The people who let fear become a plan win. You now have the plan. The only remaining variable is what you do with it. I believe you will use it. If you want to go deeper on any topic from today, the 5 moves in detail, the generation plans, the sectors, building an emergency fund from zero, every one of those is covered in dedicated videos on this channel. The playlist is organized so you can go directly to what matters most to you. Everything you need is already there. The next video goes even deeper on exactly where the $124 trillion is flowing, sector by sector, and the positioning moves for each one. If today showed you the map, the next one shows you how to navigate it. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you there. Harold worked hard. Harold saved. Harold trusted the people around him who said the bank was safe. Harold did nothing wrong except the one thing that cost him everything. He never asked the question, is my money growing? Ask it tonight. For Harold, for Rachel, for the person you want to be 25 years from now. The transfer is $124 trillion. The window is 25 years. The decision is yours. The best time to start was 39 years ago. The second best time is right now. I will see you in the next one.
Before I truly close, I want to say something to the person watching this who is genuinely scared. Not curious, not cautious, genuinely scared about money, about the future, about whether they will be okay. You are not failing. This is not a test of your worth. It is a test of your information, and you just passed it. The wealth transfer will create millions of new millionaires. History will record this period as a defining wealth creation event. You now know it is happening. You know the scale. You know the moves. You know the mistakes. The only question left is whether this video becomes something you watched or something you acted on. Rachel didn't know in March 2026 that she was making one of the most important financial decisions of her life. She just opened an account, she just set up $300 a month, and she just asked the question Harold never asked. And 25 years from now, that Tuesday in March will have been everything. Your Tuesday is right now. Not next week, not next month, right now. Open your banking app, find your savings interest rate. Write it in the comments. And if it is under 2%, you already know exactly what to do. That is your Tuesday. That is where Rachel's story started. And that is where yours starts too. This video took time to build because when people are looking for answers about their financial future, they deserve accurate information, honest guidance, and a plan that actually works. Not clickbait, not oversimplification, not fear without solutions. That's what this channel is built on, and that's what I will keep delivering. Harold, Rachel, $124 trillion. $3.1 million that never existed, $74 that is now growing, a transfer 25 years long, 5 moves, 3 mistakes, 4 generations, 1 question, are you growing or sitting still? The circle is complete. The plan is yours. Go use it. Stay informed, stay invested, and take care of your money, because your money takes care of the people you love. And your Tuesday is right now. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Please consult a qualified financial professional before making any major financial decisions. Every situation is different, and what I have shared today is designed to inform, not advise. I will see you in the next one. The transfer is happening. The question is only which side you're on. Go find out your number tonight. Stay informed, stay invested, and take care of your money, because your money takes care of the people you love. I will see you in the next one.